Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Winner Circle Sports Betting Podcast. It's the Friday. How about the Friday Football Live edition? Alex Smart in the chair today. Marc Lawrence, he might be a little late today, so we might have a four-pack here. Matt Fargo is always joining me. I am Sean Higgs. Hello. Welcome on in. I see Mar's already in the chat. Love Mar. Mar's a diehard Friday follower. We got to get Mar. We got to talk to the powers. We got to get some Gamblers World or Winner Circle hoodies or hats and start mailing them out to get some swag out tomorrow.
We need a merch store. You're right. That's a great idea.
You got it, especially for the regulars in the Friday Live. Mar's been here for the last couple of years in the live shows. Excellent work, Mar, coming in. All right, listen, you've tuned in. Hit the like, share, subscribe, notification bell. You don't want to miss out on the Friday Football Live. Plus, free picks daily. That is 7 days a week, right? We do a show. These fine gentlemen, Doug, Chip, myself, Brian Biller, Kevin Thomas, Chip Chirimis, and the Vegas Legends, the old boy crew, the OGs roll it out on the weekend. That's they sit around. Those guys should be just eating like chicken parm. It should be in some dark Italian joint with leather chairs with them sitting around. Old school betting talk. The Vegas Legends, led by Chip Chirimis there. Again, put the notification bell on. You don't want to miss out here. All right, we got a lot of things going on here on the YouTube channel. We're steadily growing it out. We need your likes and subscriptions, subscribing, and notification bells. Keep it going. Keep it going. Free picks are the free picks. Best bets, as always, gamblersworld.net for all of our top plays. And we'll dive into a little bit those because it is a Football Friday. We got some things to talk about, gentlemen. Listen, the Denver Broncos last night. I had the Raiders, and this is my thought process on that. And on Monday, my thought process was, you know what? I can see laying a 10 here with Denver because I don't know who the Raiders are going to have. Are they going to trade Max Crosby and really rip out the heart of that team? Are they going to maybe deal Geno to somewhere else as a backup to help out them? You don't know what their thought process was going to be. Game day, I'm like, you know what? Last night, or the night before, I'm like, sign me up for some Raider action here. Because what I've seen out of the Denver Broncos, not all that great. 18-15 last week against a backup quarterback. 13-10 game or 13-11 game versus the Jets. Not all that great. I saw them play down to Tennessee in week 1, and that Tennessee team looks atrocious. Then I saw them give up 30 points and nearly lose a game, but the Giants are just a bad team. How do you do that to the Giants? This team plays down to its competition. Must be. You're sitting at 7-2, but they talk about fraudulent teams. I'm going to start with Matt here, Alex. I'll get to your thoughts after his. Are they really going to win the West? And because Kansas City started so, I am not a believer in this Denver team at all, Matt.
No, I mean, I was on them last night. Part of the reason was I thought that was a good spot because they were coming off that game against Houston, which they won on a last-second field goal. Raiders coming off an overtime loss. There's some stat I don't have it in front of me where a team playing in overtime, playing on a short week, they come in very flat. And the Raiders offense,
4-25, I think, on coming off OTs. Thursday Friday game, they were 4-20, something ridiculous. Yes.
Yeah, and the Raiders offense came in just what I thought it was going to be was awful against a really good Denver defense. This Denver offense is offensive. I mean, Bo Nix has regressed. Their offensive line didn't get a push at all the whole game. 3 of their points came off a blocked punt. I don't think they can win this division with this offense right now. I thought it was going to click last night, and it didn't even come close to clicking. Bo Nix, he's just dumping the ball off. He's not going downfield. The running game was not good. They're relying on the defense right now, and I don't know how long that can hold up. I don't know how long it can take them in the playoffs. The way Kansas City's playing right now, I think the Chargers can take the division.
Chargers. What do you think about that take right there? With no Joe Alt, Alex, Chargers to win the division?
He'll be back.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible in the NFL. I looked at last night's game, and sometimes I've just got this theory about keeping it simple, stupid, and I felt stupid after the game because I'm not there isn't like I'm not just like take the points or forget the game. Favorites win, and you have to look at it. And if you just look at the matchup statistics, I just kept it simple, and I was wrong. And I thought that was a get right game for the offense. So after that close game the last time out, that 18-15 win. But maybe you have to look at it this way. It was kind of a grinding affair, and maybe it took their toll on them once again. I'm not going to give up on Denver completely. I think Nix is a generational quarterback. That's just my opinion. I know some people sort of chuckle when I say that because he really hasn't done too much lately. But the kid knows how to win, and a little bit more experience. Maybe not this year, but I think Denver is looking good. But it really depends on what happens here with trades in the future and injuries, of course. But I don't know. I was big on Denver last night, and absolutely wrong.
Hey, like I said, Kiss, to keep it simple, stupid, right? I mean, I'd see like why we overthink sometimes, and then you're like, so you're going down crazy avenues, doing mental gymnastics on things, right? You look at the game like short week, bad game for the Raiders. They look bad this year. Who knows if the coach is coming back, right? Total destruction coming in the future. And you had hype on and hope with Bo Nix in Denver. Here's the thing, though, with Nix. We talk about second year, like the sophomore slumps, rookie slumps, whatever, second year quarterbacks. You get a lot of film on the guys, and they kind of regress a little bit. And that's kind of to the norm, right? You're not expecting them to be, record breaker kind of guys. But we've seen this with a lot of these quarterbacks, right? We've seen it with Stroud and I don't know if that's more of he's got some line problems. Like that team, I think, has actually gotten worse around him since the beginning. Like he's out there, he's not throwing interceptions. So I don't know if he's as much as a problem. But like Nix, Daniels, who's been hurt, you see kind of guys fall back into we just step forward is what I'm saying, right? You kind of take a step back before you go forward a little bit. I look at the team for Denver in the beginning of the year. We can't take the Chiefs, right? Everybody's going to be on the Chiefs, so it would be take the Chargers or Denver. Which one do you think's better? I don't know about either of these teams. I think both are kind of flawed. The Chargers' health is a problem, and just the Denver. If you're going to play down the teams, you're not going to have a bye. You're going to be a wild card if you're going to lose to bad teams and be in dogfights. Because the one you should win, you saw them lose that game in LA. You saw them lose a game like that. They played that and they had that game won. They could be undefeated. They probably should be undefeated, right? They had the Colts beat. They got a bad flag. It happens. But that was a win for them. The Charger game was a win. You want to say the Jet game could have been a loss? Okay. The Giant game should have been a loss. They equal out themselves. I don't know, Denver fans. I don't know. At least you got the Nuggets to cheer about there. You got the Nuggets in your pocket. Happy about that.
No, it's a wide open division right now. It's between all three teams. Any one of those three can win it. I think. There's no clear favorite right now, in my opinion.
I'm a little biased towards Kansas City. I know they just lost to Buffalo, who they lose to in the regular season. But that team just looks like it's a little healthy, especially the offensive side of the ball. You can't. I'm not looking to count them out. And I'm last year I was all about. I'm fading these guys. Right, they're on the road. I don't care. I'll lay points. I'm taking Buffalo. I'm taking Baltimore against these guys. Yeah, and all they did was kick me in the nuts every time I faded them all the way right through the Super Bowl. I was like, you're going to give me points? I'll take points with a Andy Reid extra rest. Andy Reid is a dog. Yeah. Nope. No, came back in this first time I went against them. I lost every single time. I take them and then loser. So there's definitely no love lost between me and the Chiefs. That's for damn sure. That's for sure. Mars in the house. He says the Broncos ruined his under the Giants game. Yeah, that was ridiculous. I mean, that game. Tooch is here. Happy Friday. Best of luck to you also. Here we go. We got some college footies. Indiana. Will they lay the hammer down on Penn State? Alex Smart. A big number here. And why wouldn't it be, right? You got a Indiana. Is Indiana number one or is Ohio State number one? Who's the number one team?
Ohio State is.
Ohio State's the top dogs here.
Yeah, the brand name
I mean,
stays on top. Yeah.
Right.
like
Exactly.
14.5-point favorites. I'm seeing here. Big faves here for the Hoosiers on the road. Oh man,
Wouldn't this be a great spot? Wouldn't this be a great spot for a new coach in Penn State? Wouldn't this, like, can you imagine? That crowd's going to be crazy this week. Indiana's got a huge, I don't know how you say it, a huge momentum building. And, we're watching them and they're not fading. So, this is going to be a huge game. This is going to be as big as it gets for Penn. They're not going to be a national championship team this year. Could this be it? Could this be the one game that they sort of shock the world and send Indiana off into a true number 3 or 4 spot, maybe 5? Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, this is their Super Bowl, and I'm not going to say they're going to win it. I don't know if they really can, but the way Indiana's been playing, they've been crushing everybody. And the problem with that is they're keeping their starters in when they don't need to, and they're getting hurt. Their right guard is out this week. One of their top receivers is banged up. He might not play. So I think it's a tough spot for them. And for Penn State, like Alex, like you said, the crowd is going to be crazy. I hope they're going to be crazy anyways. But if they're down 2 possessions at halftime, they're going to leave. So they're not going to stay the whole game. But
yeah, broken down. Yeah.
In reality, Indiana should roll. Personally, I didn't touch it, but this is a sneaky spot for Penn State to keep it close, and maybe something can happen.
Penn State's got road game, Michigan State, home Nebraska, and then at Rutgers is how they finished up the year. So they still have one more home game. You'd think if it was a final home game, you'd be like really gung-ho. I'd be with you, like, wow, 14 more points. But is it Nebraska? Would that be the game? Like, we're going to win this one, fellas. Yeah, this would be the game you want to knock off an undefeated ranked 1 or 2 team in the country. This is the game, not their final home game against Nebraska with a backup quarterback for Nebraska coming to town. I mean, that one you should maybe win. You got your own backup. They got a backup. Both teams, you've already had your bubble burst a month ago, so you're on fumes anyway. But this is where, if you're going to show any heart as a player and just as a team, you think this is where it's going to be. I mean, and then you look at the way Indiana, Matt has brought up 55-10, 56-6. I mean, these are versus Big Ten teams, 63-10. I mean, ridiculous margins of victory at home and on the road. 55-10 versus Maryland. What are we doing? I mean,
but Sean, that brings up something I've always looked at during a season. Some teams know how to temper themselves, not going to full gear until it really means something. Now, I know, of course, Indiana has a lot to prove, so that's the football they're playing, but at the same time, that takes a lot out of you, constantly just crushing people, start to finish, no stop. Like Matt said, I mean, the injuries are starting to pile up. So what happens here is we move towards the key part of the season. National championship, stakes start to build, and what happens. So this is going to be interesting. Penn State is still capable. There's enough 4 and 5-star recruits there, and the defense is still tough. There could be some interesting action this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the quarterback, like his first 2 games have been on the road at Iowa and at Ohio State. So now he's making his first start at home. Maybe there's a little bit of pressure playing at home. Who knows? But he should be way more comfortable. I think it's a big advantage for him personally, where he got put into the fire in those first 2 games that he had to start. So I think this is a game where he can relax maybe a little bit and get the offense going a little bit. Indiana's defense is just as good as Iowa and Ohio State. They're right there. So it won't be easy, but I think there's a little pressure taken off without having to play on the road after those first 2 games.
Penn State was down by 3 at the half last week at Ohio State. They're down by 3 at the half. Right? So they were battling. They could have easily mailed that in as a 20-point dog and be like, whatever. Down by 3, end up losing.
It's still a talented team, no matter what we think, no matter how they perform.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got as many 4 or 5-star recruits on that Penn State team as Alabama does. That's hard to believe. So it's
Penn State closed at 17.5 at Ohio State last week. 17.5 on the road to Ohio State. And they opened up as a 15-point dog here, 15.5-point dog at home. Think about that for a second. What would if this game was in Indiana? You're telling me that Indiana would be a 20-something point favorite, basically.
Yeah,
right.
By 20.
If Ohio State's 17 at home and they're laying 15.5 on the road, crazy.
Yeah, and Alex brought up a great point about 4- and 5-star recruits on defense. These guys are going to be NFL players. They're not going to give up. They're going to keep playing hard and show these scouts what they're made of. They're not giving up at all.
What do you say? Penn State plus 14.5 for the show here.
I'm in.
Penn State plus 14.5. 29-30, by the way, with our college football this year. 29-30, and that was only because me and Mark took it on the chin with some dogs like 2 weeks ago. Every dog lost. It was a sad. It was like that Sarah McLachlan singing the little dog starving in the streets. That was our Saturday. Like all our dogs were like literally kicked and starving and have 3 legs. It was a 3-legged dog named Tripod. That was our game. It's terrible. Yeah. Tripod, the 3-legged dog. That's everybody's dogs. You don't have a 3-legged dog named Tripod? No. That's what I called them.
That was my nickname in college. Yeah.
There you go. The ladies called you Tripod. Oh, interesting. There we go. Let's go down crazy pants here.
I'm not going to go there.
Yeah, no. Maybe I shouldn't have went there either.
Mar wants to know Iowa and Oregon here. This is an interesting one here. Oregon on the road, 6.5 to Iowa. I see Tooch was in the chat. This is Tooch's neck of the woods. Tooch, what do you got on Iowa? It's in his backyard. I don't know. This is an interesting matchup here. I was 20th in the poll for the college football playoff.
Mm-hmm.
This is right. Like they got them down there low enough where it'll help your Indiana, Ohio States, and Oregons, but not enough because you got all these SEC teams down there that'll push a extra Big Ten team in there, right? I mean, I'm going to say Oregon here. I mean, I don't have this one. Just talking about in the chat here more, I would lean to the Ducks. Matt, what do you think about this one? You like anything sticking out to you on this game?
No, not really. I mean, I guess I would lean Iowa only because their offense just hasn't been clicking of late. They had the one big game against Rutgers, big deal. But what's their best win of the season? Northwestern?
I'm looking. So they have. I'm reading here. They have two. They have 4 common Big Ten opponents against each other. Right? They played the 4 same Big Ten teams. Oregon's average line 13. Ready for Iowa's? Pickle,
really?
Yeah. I mean, and you're going to be a 6 spot here. I'm going to lean in a better team. Give me Oregon. Again, I don't think I'm going to be betting this one more, but I would lean to the Ducks.
Just looking at the numbers, Oregon's winning the stats averages by plus 245 net yards per game. And only Indiana's been better, but they're inconsistent. You can still see it. They're an inconsistent kind of team. Lots of talent, but then you look at some old ATS trends and stuff. You see Iowa. Hey, that's a Canuck thing. Sorry, guys. Iowa counters with 8-1 SU and 6-1-1 ATS home dog record. So they come to play when they're at home, and Big K Stadium there. I mean, it's not an easy place for any team to play in, even Oregon. But if this was a money line bet, if I was just going to pick one side or the other, it would be Oregon.
Yeah, it's because again, you're going to be a home dog, and as much as like I said, I like the Ducks here, but 6.5 looks so easy to say. Well, Ducks win by 7+, right? Again, this is for me, it's a no-go. It's going to be a no-go for the show here, Mark.
Yeah, I think it's a no-go for me too. But like when you say the number, the 6.5, that would draw me to Iowa just because it's like what you just said about 6.5. Oh, Oregon just has to win by touchdown.
Win by touchdown. They've been winning by touchdown.
That's why I was thinking Iowa because of the number.
They're not going to give you a touchdown because you see how we're thinking. They're not going to give you a touchdown.
Yeah.
And if it moves to that number, I'd be just absolutely shocked. I really would. But hey, crazier things have happened.
All right. If you're watching, if you haven't already, hit the like button on the YouTube. No comments on the X. There's no. Sometimes speak at the X comments, but a lot of YouTubes. Chris Atkins in the house, my guy.
Actually, Sean, our free play on that game was the under 40.5 for what was it, Wednesday?
You know what?
When did they show?
Yes. I got it written down here. I'm like, I'd lean this way.
Actually, we had Iowa too.
Iowa
We had
6.5.
Yeah.
Iowa, yeah, we do have that. Yes, I got to go back and adjust here because I have it written down.
I forgot we had Iowa too. That's right. But we had the under. We had the under.
I had to flip my page. I'm like, wait a second, because we did a college football game the other day. Iowa, forget it. We took the Iowa. We said, you know what, you got to take the points there. Forget about the win by 7. Iowa under 40.
One of the things when you see a total that low, 40.5, is it still 40.5? I haven't looked. The points are going to be a premium, so the 6.5 is pretty tasty, I think.
Now, yes, I remember. Now I remember our conversation from the other day. See, the days just go all together. You forget you talk about things. This is why, thank goodness, I came in today.
Plus, we're old and we forget stuff.
Because otherwise, people would be like, "Look at this! You give out both sides of the game." No, like, what are you talking about? And then, sure enough, it's a what is this total? Where is it? I can't even find the Oregon game here. Here we go. I know it's moved up to a 41.5 now.
It's 41.5, 42. Yep.
I listen. I still like the under. That's still a low. This is Oregon. Like Oregon averages like 30-something points a game, and we got 41 here. Now, so you get all energized now. Now it's like now I remember we were talking about the other day. What the hell are we doing with a 40 spot up here on these teams? Dog in the under. Dog in the under. Toot says Indiana Penn State feels like a numbers thing where you hold your nose to take Penn State. Yes, and that's exactly what we did. That's exactly what we did. Gavin's in the house, shifting to Sunday Night Football and Matt Fargo's AFC West champion, maybe.
I said maybe.
I said maybe. This is Gavin. I'll put this in the chat, and I'm going to supersede everybody. If they like the Chargers, I'm taking the Steelers here +3. The Chargers, I don't know down the road. Right now, they got some offensive line problems, and when they have problems, you saw in the second half against Tennessee. Dude, Herbert's doing tush pushes. They're losing to they're fumbling. The crazy thing is they're fumbling on like the 7-yard line in the Meadowlands, and the Giants are kicking field goals. This team without an offensive line, it just totally stalls out everywhere. It just stalls out. I'll take the Steelers. You give me a field goal, I will take a field goal. And again, this is a Tomlin special. It's a 3. This is like every Steeler game back in the day was a 3, right? Every game against the Ravens, it's 3-3-3-3, and every score was 23-20. This is no different here. I'm taking the Steelers +3. I make it in the show pick. So talk amongst yourself. You're not talking me out of it. I'm taking them here. Go ahead, Alex. You're laughing at me. You want to take the Chargers here?
I'm not laughing. I just see it. So looking at some of Rodgers' numbers, 2-5 ATS in night games.
You got to get into watch Murder She Wrote.
ATS as an underdog. Looking at, Look, as a kid, honestly, I was a Steelers fan, like diehard. I lived for the Steelers. And, I'm an old man, so, I remember guys like, the Steel Curtain and, all that old Steel City stuff. And that this team
you weren't a Buddy Brister guy from, 83.
Yeah, right. I'm telling you, this is not the same team anymore. It's and it's going downhill. And it doesn't – that traditional brand, that tough ass brand of football, it's starting to disappear too. And there's the odd bounce back game where they look really good, but overall, I don't feel confident with them anymore. And I'm a Steelers fan. So I won't bet against them, but I sure as hell won't bet for them this week either.
All right, listen.
It's just anyway, just an opinion. That was just an opinion.
I understand. It's a spot for you think the Steelers are going to come out and win a game against Green Bay or against Joe Flacco, who's had 10 days under his belt, and then they lose them.
Right.
You know, defense had given up 60 points. They look terrible. Then they come out and put a stomping on Daniel Jones and pick him off 5 times, and it looks like they're back at it. This is a big game for them. I like the Steelers. I bet them beginning week 3. There's actually a random 2 out here on this game, by the way. Also,
I know Rodgers' release doesn't look as fast as it used to. I was also a big
he's
on
50.
Rodgers. Yeah, I mean he's an old dude, and I just I'm a real old dude, so I know what old dudes are, and that guy he's slow. His release time, I mean, it's never going to be 2.6 seconds again. It's over. So we'll see.
It's over, he says. Matt, what do you think of this one?
I see it's 2.5 across the board right now.
Yeah, 2.5. I got a 3 here at DK.
Interesting.
Oh, DK does have 3. You're right. Yep. I do see that. I have zero opinion on this game. Like you mentioned, there's no way you can take San Diego with we keep calling them San Diego. With their offensive line issues, you're right about that. Once their line gets healthy again, then yes. Pittsburgh is going to have probably 3/4 of the stadium filled. So for that alone, I would lean Pittsburgh because they will have the fan base there, no doubt about it. Look at the numbers. The Chargers actually have the better defense as far as EPA goes, 11 versus 23. And the fact that the Steelers gave up, 33 and 38 to, what am I looking at here? 38 to Indy, right?
Yep.
Like Alex mentioned, they just don't seem like they have that toughness like they used to. But if I had to make a play, it would be on Pittsburgh, even though if you can get that 3 for sure. But I could see this game 3 points, 1 possession either way.
I like a money line here, though. Harbaugh's won 17 of his last 20 on the East Coast. For some reason, he travels well, and I like the values and maybe not there, but shit. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I look at Pittsburgh. I'm a big Pittsburgh fan. I hate to repeat myself like I just did before. And Matt said it again. They're just not as tough as they used to be. It's just not the same team. You're betting into a Pittsburgh, I think, a brand. I think our minds are sort of like, enveloped around this brand, but you can see what the lines makers think too. So, they're making Pittsburgh a 3-point underdog on the opening line here. Who are we to argue? I mean, that's what we do, but I mean, who are we to argue? Yeah.
Let's see. Marsh said he's laid it with Indiana. Toots says Iowa's a live dog. Snow and rain. Snow and rain in this game, by the way.
Yeah, I saw the weather forecast. Doesn't look good.
Gronk's played well. Oregon's again weak. The one team they played it was good, and they beat them 30-20 at home. USC over 8 wins look good. What are they at? 7.5 for the year. I gotta bust out my little book here for my win totals. USC over 7.5 for me here, Gar. I took a 7.5.
Over 8.
Well, they're at 6-2 right now for him. He's got over 8. I got 7.5.
They should win tonight. We beat UCLA. So yeah, if they take out Iowa at home, yeah, you get your 9 right there. At Oregon, that's gonna be a tough one, obviously. But the other 3, all at home, definitely
should be all right. You got 3 home games.
It's looking pretty good. You're right.
Doesn't USC look good every year? You look at their lineup; they look good every year, and we're like, every year, this is the year. This is the year. I think they're saying the same thing in LA, but wow, it just never works out for some reason.
Lincoln Riley was complaining about, they played a night game last Saturday and they have to go into a Friday game. It's like, well,
Yeah.
it's TV contracts, man. Like you're getting paid money for this stuff. Your school is getting paid. Like, don't complain about it.
That's right. That's why Lincoln gets the big bucks. So I mean,
yeah. Well, I don't know if he was really on board with breaking up the Pac-12 for him to go play Midwest football. I mean, I think that's why he kind of left over.
Right. He definitely was not. No,
he definitely was not down with that. Yes, Iowa, tough place to play. Connect. Yep. Mar, thoughts on the Niners money line? I took the 4. I want to sprinkle money line here versus the Rams. This line moved up. It was like a 2.5, a 3, 3.5. Keeps climbing. Who else is out for the Niners that this line keeps climbing? Is that what that is? The guys just keep getting on the injured list over here?
They're pretty banged up.
Take the underdog no matter what. These guys, the underdog seems to always, doesn't matter who's injured, who's not injured, the underdog always seems to cash in these matchups. So I think what's the underdog's cash? 13 of the last 14?
13 last 14, yep.
Yeah, 13 of the last 14.
That's crazy. That is a crazy stat. It's unreal.
Yeah, I know. It's nuts.
That is
Shane
nuts.
has no ATS in this spot versus the Rams too. So,
I just popped on covers to look at the injury report on this. Rams have 3 guys: Williams, Nakua, and Whittington on the injury report. The San Francisco injury report: Davis, White, Collins, Williams, Brendel, McCaffrey, Jones, Huff, Jennings, Purdy, Winters, Barch, Luter, Bethune, Purcell, Williams. Wow. That's what they just got fit here on the first thing. Wow. It's like, oh my goodness,
crazy.
Sometimes these blind bets. Sometimes these blind bets are just blind bets that make money. So,
Mar, our guy, the Jaguars favored against Houston. Small number. Listen, I look at this number, and I like the Texans here. Now, it's a backup quarterback and our guy Davis, right? I mean, Davis Mills. I like Davis Mills. I didn't think he was terrible. I know when you get a chance to draft a franchise kind of guy that they thought CJ Stroud is to take it. But Mills was productive when he was out there. He wasn't bad for who he was and what was around him. The problem with Houston is everybody around the quarterback, the offensive line that's missing, your wide receivers that are hurt. They got other problems. I will take Houston here. I'm not. I took the under, and it's moved. But again, you look at their injuries. It's like, oh my goodness. But I don't want to take the Jaguars. I mean, Trevor Lawrence. That's the guy you want to bet on as a favorite. That's where we're going. Trevor Lawrence favorite. No, thank you to me on that one. I mean, I know they're 5-3 this year, but the guy was on didn't he lose 13 straight games as a starter at one point or something crazy like that.
Yeah, the Jags are coming off the overtime game. Teams that are playing a game off an overtime game where the opponent is not, they've only won 42% of the time. So the odds are not in their favor. The receiving room is banged up completely. I don't think Brian Thomas Jr. is going to play. He might be, but from what I've heard, he's not going to. Going against the number 1 defense in the NFL and EPA. I like Houston in this spot. There's no way I can lay that with Jacksonville. No way. And they got lucky last week. They got lucky with the win. The Raiders missed a 2-point conversion to win. They should have lost that game, or they easily could have lost. So no, they could be 4-4 right now.
Yeah, I mean, look at the schedule. I mean, you want to give them the win over Cincy that they pissed away.
Yes,
but, like you said, they should have lost to the Raiders. Could have lost to San Fran. I mean, a lot of back and forth. The Chief game, Alex, 31-28. It's a wild one.
You just got to be. What I'm trying to spit this out. What I'm trying to say here is, AFC South is just bizarro land. You can put all the statistics and numbers you want to put down, but like last year, AFC South dogs covered 11 of 12. And I think over a 5-year period from 2019 on to last year, they were 45-27. And then now this year, the Dogs are 0-4 ATS. So I don't know. I don't even know what to think of that. It's hard. It's just hard to look at those games.
It's a ugly division. I know the Colts have jetted out to a fast start, but we'll see them. I mean, we'll see, 6.5-point faves in Berlin this week. Mark's got a question.
This is a big game for Houston in the fact that they've already lost to Jacksonville, right? So if they lose to Jacksonville again, that's bad news because they have not played the Colts yet this year. They still have to play the Colts twice. So this is a huge game for Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are both on Houston. That's what you. I'm just.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I have no opinion.
We're going Houston. Listen, they're getting a point and a half. We're just going to call it a plus 110 here.
Yeah.
For show purposes. I'm not saying, they're going to lose by 19-18. I'll just take them to win here. Mark's got a question. We'll get to
Jacksonville has big numbers outside the country, don't they? Isn't it? No?
Yeah, but they're not playing outside. This is regular
which one do we have here? I'm sorry, I'm getting mixed up. Okay.
Oh no, because I mentioned the Colts were playing in Berlin against.
Sorry, no, this is yeah. No, I've got it. It's at 1:00 game here. Yeah,
Star Child, A&M and Mizzou. 48.5 total fit. Well, we got the numbers on the board there. 48.5. Excuse me, it's a 50 spot now. Yeah, backup quarterback. I like A&M. You can look at this as did they not adjust the line enough for this with the backup quarterback? Is it A&M's due for a hiccup because they're undefeated? They started slow in LSU, and that was that spot where LSU was really the coach was in a must-win. He got fired after the game. Destroyed them in the second half. Maybe they started a little slow because they played a wild one the week before in Arkansas. This team just puts up points ridiculous. How is Mizzou staying close with a backup freshman quarterback? I don't see it. It's high because A&M scores 40 points a game. They scored 40 everywhere but against Mississippi State, which is probably a play-down game. I'd say over. No?
I really have no opinion on the total, to be honest with you. Yeah, I would say over. I guess I would say over.
The Missouri coach is an offensive guy, so you think he'd have the offense a little bit going on track. But on the flip side of that, you got Elko at A&M. He's a defensive guy, right? He's a defensive coach. To me, this is an A&M spot. Total wise, you really want to get into it. And the fact that you had 48.5 and it's a 50. Let me see. I don't even know what this even opened at here for this game.
Open 49.5.
All right, so I didn't really move too much.
It went down and then came back up.
That's you think it would come down a little bit more. Again, you got a backup in there, but there's not 48.5s out there right now. I don't know where we got the 50 off of maybe DK, but I'm seeing 48.5 or 48s even.
Missouri's defense is pretty good. Their EPA is they're number 60 in the country. They're pretty good. I don't know how much they can stop A&M, but I think they can slow them down a little bit. So that's a concern. Yes, they have a backup quarterback, but their defense is playing at home. So
you played Central Arkansas at home. You gave up 6 points. You played UL Lafayette, you gave up 10 points. South Carolina is not a good team. You gave up 20. UMass, you gave up 6. You gave up 27 to Alabama and lost. You lost 17-10 to Vandy on the road and 23-17 to beat Auburn. You haven't played an offensive team yet. The one team you played, you lost. And that was that was your Super Bowl. That's the game we're going to get them here, right? Alabama was off a tough game. You had a bye week before that game, and you lose 27-24. What are you doing with a backup versus an A&M team that maybe doesn't get enough respect because it's A&M in SEC and not – listen, if this was Georgia or Alabama undefeated scoring 45 – look at the scores. If these were Alabama scores 49-25, 45-42, 34-17, 41-40 over Notre Dame, this would be, oh, my goodness, this team's going to, odds-on favorite to win the national championship. No, it's Texas A&M, so they're down.
Where are they in the CFP? Are they top 4? I mean, they're up
I
there.
think they're 3.
Top
Yeah,
3.
no, I mean, they're right there.
They put 40-plus points on in 5 of 8 games. I mean, this team can score. They've proven that.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Oh no, defense over
Total
offense is the other point that we could make, but
yeah, you want to do a first half over star? I mean, that's something.
I like Texas.
I just don't know.
Disrespected Texas A&M to cover.
It is. I mean, 6.5. That's an imbalance. Like, is it the low hanging fruit? Whatever. You know what? I know it's poison. Thank you, Eve, for eating the apple. I'll take it. It looks good.
I think
way too enticing to take the number 3 team in the country, 9 lane, a touchdown with the backup.
Right.
That's the thing.
The one thing is,
3 team in the country versus a backup quarterback laying 6.5.
Right, and that's what the public's going to think. You know,
Yeah,
they have 3 1-possession wins, and this is their 3rd straight road game, so that means something.
They had a bye week though. They had a bye week in between.
Yeah, still.
Yeah, it's not like they played all 3. You know,
like you just said, it is low hanging fruit. It 100% is.
Yeah, it could. You know,
I would. For total, I'm looking at the numbers right now. I would lean over. Yes. Texas A&M will get their points.
They beat Notre Dame on the road 41-40, Arkansas on the road 45-42, and LSU on the road 49-25. Right? Every game they hit 40 points. 2 of the games went over 80, and this total's at 48.
Right.
Missouri wins just 20-13. That's because that's what the 2 numbers should tell you. That this is
what do you think? 2 touchdowns less than what they usually score at 30. What's Missouri?
So right? I mean, what is there a tornado coming to Mizzou? Like the 3 road games I just gave you versus better SEC teams, and you look at these numbers today, and it should tell you that this game is going to be 23-17 Missouri. It's not even close. A&M scores with 3 minutes to go to make it close because they're down 10 the entire. No, I don't care. I'll lose with A&M. I think the Aggies. It's taken a while. They've had recruiting classes for years, right? Bringing in top recruiting classes. Couldn't get anything done. Now they got the no money on top of that. I like Elko as a coach. It's time to poop or get off the pot in A&M, bro. You better, take care of a bad team.
Yeah. When you least expect.
That's again. If it goes down, it's one game. It'll go down. I'm not going to lose my entire bankroll on it, but
Elko's a great coach. Elko's an awesome coach. Look what
he didn't do for 2 years.
Look what Jimbo Fisher, right. Look what Jimbo Fisher did to this team. He brought in, I think, the number 1 recruiting class 2 straight years and could do nothing. And Elko all of a sudden has completely turned this team around.
Yeah, good point. Yeah,
Probably, yeah. I mean, he's out. Quarterback's out. Bama game went under versus Mizzou. Yeah.
Well, they call it gambling. Let's gamble.
Barely. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, the total was 51.5. It ended at 51. It didn't sail under. And that is a question. Is Mizzou going to score with a backup quarterback? I do not know. I'm going to put some picks in. Where do you guys want to go to next here? Any other games, college football, kind of stick out with you? Or
what do you think about LSU Bama? That's a big one.
Here we go. Go, Alex. You start.
I think I'm going to have play on that this weekend, so I'm going to pass.
Okay,
but
that's fair.
But it's a big one.
I like LSU.
I do too. I like the fact that this is their first game after what's his name, Kelly got fired. Who no player liked. If you could give every bad attribute for a coach, Kelly had it. And I think this is going to be their most inspired game of the year. Not just because it's Bama, just because of the situation. But the fact that it is Bama makes it that much better, in my opinion.
I'm putting them in the chat.
The defense has struggled against running quarterbacks this year. Simpson is not that. I think the defense can hold their own. Their offense is so bad. Oh my gosh. They're number 83 in EPA. Oh, it's horrible. But no, like the defense, Bama is 26, LSU's 28. Success rate, Bama 34, LSU 35. Defenses are a wash. If LSU can get any production out of the running game, which it hasn't happened at all this year, they have a chance to keep this close. I think. I don't know.
I'm playing on a spot of they got rid of the coach they hated. Bama's as good as Bama's been. They kind of play close in their games. They're winning, but the stats aren't there for the wins. As Marc Lawrence, our guys, not idiot, but what would he call it? He's calling like the leaking oil kind of games, right? You're winning, you're getting there. The car's showing up, but you got to get there, and you need some more fluid in the engine. This is how they've been playing, right? They're winning, but you look at the numbers like, well, they're not winning it that way, right? I guess it's like kind of playing with the fire kind of game. You're right in there, but someone's going to knock you off or hang tough. Again, 10.5. You're giving me 2 scores.
Yeah,
and it's like Penn State. This ain't a school that has like no 4 or 5 stars on it. You got real recruits here. You got NFL players coming in.
Right. The only concern is they blew out Tennessee and Vandy. There are 2 home games in the conference. That is LSU as good as Tennessee or Vanderbilt? I don't think so. And
yeah, but that could be, talent wise, I think so. But coach wise, they just underachieved the entire season.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I think the coach bump is huge here. I think it's a big deal in this game, especially. Like if you look at like Auburn and Vandy, I don't think the players disliked Hugh Freeze that much. I think he was more of a rah-rah motivational guy. But Kelly, they just did not like him at all. So
it says with LSU, it's weird because you had a quarterback who was like the Heisman guy, right? Like this guy, and he's going to follow in the footsteps of Daniels and Burrow. This offense averaged 20 points a game in the SEC. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Now, is that because of the play calling? Was the line just banged up? I mean, again, this is strictly we're taking LSU based on there's a huge breath of fresh air. Now the players got some to cheer about or be happy about. And hello, you're playing at now. Listen, I really love this if they were home against Alabama, but
right.
We are on the road, But I think it's worth a shot at 10.5.
Yeah,
I put it out there. Yeah, Mar likes LSU.
I mean, the big concern is that it's a night game in Tuscaloosa, and those are always difficult. And any SEC night game is tough, but I don't know. Got to look past that.
Anything here? Oh, here's one interesting game. Texas Tech, 10.5, even 11.5 at DraftKings over undefeated BYU. Here's another one. I think they're just telling you who to take. Like the undefeated crew is getting double digits, and the quarterback's just coming back. He was out last week. Not that they missed the beat with the Red Baron. I don't know. This would be another one for me. I'd have to do Tech here at home. I know they're begging you to take BYU.
We talked about this on Wednesday, and I lean BYU just because of some of the numbers. I didn't realize Texas Tech has the number 1 ranked defense in EPA.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about their offense. Their defense
we didn't come to like a thing on it when we brought it up. That's I figured I asked it. I might as well bring it up here for the show here.
BYU's overrated. That's what my take is, just personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, just 1-9 in the second of back-to-back road games, BYU. So conditioning's been an issue with them, and just being away from home for a while for a couple of games in a row seems like it's been an issue for them. And they're just 1-4 away with rest ATS. So, just looking at trends, I mean, just basically looking at it and just saying Texas Tech. I like Texas Tech this year. I wish they're probably 2 players away from national championship contention, but we'll see.
Yeah. My number shows somebody said the number 1 in Havoc. I have number 2 in Havoc. This defense is solid. If I could go back in time, Sean, I would take Texas Tech on Wednesday. My bad.
It's a quiet, under the radar Big 12 team, right? Because you're thinking, right, Utah. let's be honest. Whittingham, you think Utah's going to be good. You had the big game with who was that, Iowa and K-State or Kansas and Iowa State, whoever the hell played in Ireland to start the year. Like, that was when we talked about, like, well, that team's going to get off to a 1-0 start, but maybe the team who loses is worth a shot, right? Because we had a lot of teams bunched up at the top of the Big 12. Like, who's going to separate? Yep. And I think you kind of see that. No one really thought maybe people did, but here comes Tech out of the pack. I mean, look at this Big 12. It's crazy. I mean, the wild thing was that if Houston didn't lose the other day, they'd be sitting here with Cincinnati and the Texas Tech at 5-1 behind the undefeated BYU squad.
Mm-hmm.
It's just weird, and then you have the bottom feeders here. It's I don't know. Again, I look at this number like you just said. Who they're begging to take the BYU squad.
Cincinnati. If BYU loses today, right? And Cincinnati hosts BYU November 22nd. If they can beat BYU, they'll be playing Tech in the championship, most likely.
Wow. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Nobody saw Cincinnati coming at all.
Yeah.
Flying under the radar.
Yeah, I know with Cincinnati. You guys, you're believers, both of you in Cincinnati now? Like, after all this, you play great football.
Well, think of who they have. If they beat, they're playing Arizona here, right? And now you're 6-1. If BYU loses, they're 5-1 in conference play. And if they beat whoever, and this is Texas A&M, Texas Tech winning here to get to 6-1, beating BYU. The winner of the BYU Cincinnati game will face Texas Tech in the Big 12 championship game.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Right. Because you got unless BYU gets tripped up somewhere, but you're home against TCU and home against Central Florida. I don't think you should get tripped up there.
I just keep scratching my head with Cincinnati. Other than their toughness, and their quarterback play, I just really can't. I don't know. I just can't get my head around that team for some reason. And it's just every time I tune in or I watch an ESPN review of a game that they play, I don't know. It's just nothing stands out to me, and I don't know why. But you guys see something I obviously don't see. So,
the quarterback. I'm going into the Utah game. He had one interception and like 30 touchdowns, like running and passing. Now Utah crushed them, which I'm not shocked at that. You go up there as a bad spot. Their first loss at Nebraska, the guy threw an interception in the end zone. I was like, time expired. He completes that pass, and now they have one loss on the year to Utah, which isn't. Are you going to really knock them for losing at Utah? That's a tough place to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, Utah's been playing pretty well against Texas Tech. They lost at BYU, but that was by 3 points. So Utah's been playing really well. So losing to the Utes isn't really that bad for Cincinnati.
And when you look at it, back to Tech, Tech went in there and played at high noon, and I had Utah that day as like a 3-point favorite. Tech went in there and crushed them 34-10. It wasn't even that close.
Right.
It wasn't even that close. They destroyed them. Oh yeah, that brought up Nealon from the Cowboys committed suicide that guy.
Oh yeah.
And I was talking about my son. He's like, he texted me. I was doing a show. I'm like, really? I was trying to find out what happened about the guy. Like, he just scored a touchdown on Monday night. And you think, like, you're in the NFL, you're young, your things are going well for you. And then what sets you off to go do that? And like in a porta potty, that's how you go down in your life. That's just sad.
It is.
That is terrible.
Mental health, man, it's a thing. People go through a lot of shit, and
they said because of that, like his mom had passed away before he got drafted or something. People, you don't know, people's health and how they react to things, but that's just
it's sad. It's just sad. Yeah. It really is.
It's everywhere though now. It's just societally, it's everywhere. So yeah.
Totally. Everybody's like, oh, I shouldn't say everybody. Me, like, fella, just, you got a friend, talk to somebody, get help. Until it's like there, it's easy for me to say or somebody else to say, like, your family loves you, and apparently he was texting them and they were trying to talk to him. And And then nothing. I don't know.
Horrible.
That's sad. So, yeah, thanks for the downer, Derry. Appreciate that. And the show on that. Well, I'm going to segue out of a sad story of a guy. Appreciate it, Derry. Thanks. So
Goes
don't
to
come
show
back.
you money and riches don't keep you happy all the time. Makes life easier, but it doesn't make you happy all the time, and that's the thing, right?
Well, yeah, because the song, right? Money doesn't buy happiness, right? This, you got other things going on. It's
that's about it. More
yeah, we got to end the show on that. Derry comes in and wants to bring that whole thing, but on a side note, it's serious. You don't know what goes on in people's heads. Anyway, let's. I put them in the chat before. I'll pop them up on the screen for some show picks for us here. NFL, the Eagles. We didn't really talk about the Eagle game today. We did it in a previous video, so you can go check that one out. But I put it here in the chat for you to have as well. The Steelers and the Texans money line we went over here today. And in college footies, the Iowa and the Iowa under. Me and Matt did a video the other day. You can still find it here on the Winner Circle YouTube channel. Penn State and LSU gets the added nod here on a Friday Football Live. And that's about it. Listen, you tuned in this long. Hopefully you hit the like button at least once, and everybody's commenting. We love that. If you're not following Gamblers World on the Twitter world, go do that. We're all on the X. Come say hello there. Again, free picks are free picks. They're our best bets. Our top plays are at gamblersworld.net. If you're looking to get into some premium action, make a little money, head on over to gamblersworld.net. Matt, Big Ten game of the month going there. Look at this game of the year. He's loaded up this weekend. A lot of GOYs going. I'm going to take money out of Matt's pocket by telling you to go buy a 3-day pass or a 7-day pass. Make the smart money move. Listen, big weekend. College basketball is on tap. NBA, hockey, college, NFL football, a lot of stuff. Weekend passes are good. We have a new deal, knocking money off the weekly passes. Go get them. And again, the 3 730s are guaranteed to show you a profit or we credit you back. There you go. Reduced prices. Gamblersworld.net. Go get them. Gentlemen, everything was scrolling on the bottom, but if you want to start with Matt and your big game, just say people what you got going on this weekend, go for it.
Yeah. So starting tonight, I have another college football game, 3-0 college football so far this week. Also 3 NBA games, 3 college hoops games, 10 college games on Saturday, 5 NFL games on Sunday. Yes, going to be a big weekend. Big weekend.
Alex.
Yeah, we're going to have NBA action, of course, college basketball. Looks like I'm going to get back at the hockey gods again and try to get some winning from hockey after I've watched for a few days. Obviously, we're going to have college basketball action tomorrow. We've got a big NBA card tonight, 5 selections, the biggest so far this season. 1 major college basketball event going on. I've got a side play on that Kansas, North Carolina event, and 1 college football play. I'm one of these guys that puts out my NFL later than most people. Got a big thing about lines, and so we're watching movement right now. Anyway, full slate this weekend. Let's make some money and have a great weekend, guys. Break a leg.
There you go. All access day pass is $69.99 from Alex and Matt, available when they're, again, on a Saturday or Sunday. There's other sports besides football going on. They're going to get a lot of games. Shockingly, I only have 5 college and 5 NFL up for the weekend in each. Sometimes I go heavy. Other times I don't love, if you don't love it, sometimes I love, sometimes you feel like it, sometimes you don't. Sometimes I feel that way when I look at the board sometimes. There's a whole lot of college basketball today. I got a couple on the site. Yesterday I go like 6-2. Today there's 3 games and there's double amount of games. I just feel, I don't know. I didn't, nothing really jumped. And a lot of times I want to actually, after this, I want to look at some of these totals from where they opened from last night to where they go now. I think Alex froze on us. I like to see a lot of like 4 and 5 point line moves, man. So I'm going to actually go off my notes from last night and I'm going to write those down and I'm going to see where they're at now. Any like 4 or 5 point move, just because going forward, now he's back. Just going forward, I want to see, is it worth taking a over 138 when they bet it down from like a 144.5,
Right.
Like, is the value, like they're pounding a total like they know the final, and it moves 4 or 5 points. And you see a lot of that in college basketball. 3, 4, 5-point college totals move early in November.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm going to keep track of them today. And tomorrow when they move 5 points, if they go 5-1 or 7-1, I don't even know how many. Say it goes 7-1 if I would have gone the opposite. Right, Alex? The total started at 144.5. It's dropped to 138. I'm going to go over 138. How many of those are you going to cash on 5 points if there's 10 of them? Right? I mean, is every one of those 5-point totals going to cash? I'm going to keep track.
Historical, you're going to have to keep a historical long term.
Yeah, because early in the season, I think that you can probably catch these and make a little money on them. Whether they go 3-2 or 2-3 one day, you're not getting crushed. I don't think you're going to go like 7-1 catching all these numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like every one of those is going to hit that you pound down.
So you're saying you're going to follow the market. You're following the market for the win.
I'm going to follow them. No, I'm going to follow it as opposed to it goes from A to B. It goes from 138 to 142. But I'm not going to bet the over 142. I'm going to bet the under 142. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go opposite of whatever the high number is.
You're going against the move. You're going against the big move.
I'm going to.
Right.
The only concern about that, I guess, would be when it's high total coming down. Is that because of injuries? So if you're going to bet into that and go over, you might be betting into something that you don't know about. If you're just going to bet numbers, I understand that. There might be a underlying reason behind it, and not just.
Well, that's why there's going to be
the numbers are wrong.
You got to write them down because there'll be so many,
right?
And there could be injury on a couple of these. It could be just no injuries. It's college basketball. You don't know. These guys don't report anything.
Allen Boston used to have like 30 or 40 scribblers. You guys remember Allen Boston?
Yeah.
Well, better. He used to have 30 or 40 scribblers full of that kind of information. It's like scary. So get ready.
It's just interesting. You're
going to do it scribbler style?
I'm a notebook guy.
I got 500. Yeah.
I was watching the board this morning, and I'm like, look at these things just dancing all over the place. 4 or 5 point totals. And November is tricky. It's a tricky time for basketball. I grabbed actually McNeese today, just late. Usually I put my stuff in the night before. I took McNeese because it was a 2 last night. I went up to 6.5, and I'm like, all right, Irvine's got no starters back. McNeese got a couple guys back, and then they're supposed to be the best in their conference. They got their play of the year back. I'll take a plus 6.5. Now, 2 wouldn't really interest me. I'd be like, I'm not interested in that game. And they even put a little check mark next to it on my thing. This morning I saw 6.5. I'm like, 4-point line move. I'll take this small one. That's where I'm gonna try to collect my eggs. The small conferences, the little guys. You're going to get a bonus point. Again, it's not that Kempom or Bartovic or Haslam, the numbers are perfect. But all those guys have that at like 2, 2.5, and you're going to give me 6. You know what? I'll take the numbers nerds number and be like, you're going to give me extra points. Why not? I got the best player on the court.
Do you guys ever line the games just dry? Don't look at the lines. Don't look at anything. Look at the game and line it yourselves straight up. Without
football, I'll do college basketball. No, not college. Well, there's just so many teams. How are you lining New Orleans versus Southeast Louisiana? I can't name one guy on that team.
College hoops is tough, definitely.
NFL. Listen, we consider the NFL like I think that line's going to be X. We could be. We
can all name every line every week easily. We're within a point. We can do that.
College basketball.
College basketball is hard. For the small
conference. Say you did the MAAC, Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, and could you?
Oh, the AA MAC. AA MACs. I'm looking at. I would just automatically think unders. I see Manhattan Jaspers. I think that game's going to be 54-46. Final, not even at halftime.
Yeah.
You just know how those teams play, But when I'm like this kind of thing, I don't. No. There's, people run into like synergy and pace and shot and all this other stuff. I don't. That's not into my handicap. I'm looking at a number like, all right, why is it X? I'm just numbering it up what I think it's going to be. But for college hoops especially, I'm an after the fact guy. I'm not coming up with my own things. I'm like, I'll dig in and be like, all right, I got 4 starters back on a team that's coach has been there for 9 years, and this is the way they play all the time. I'm taking them in underdog roles. So I'll ride them out. I'm going to do stuff like that. Things I could wrap my arms around. Things I can't put my arms around, I'm going to have to, dig into the minds of others,
Yeah. Alex, later in the season, yes, I'm with you. That's what I do. When it comes to like conference play, 100%. Like right now, some of these teams I have no clue about. No clue.
Yeah. The first couple
just think about
it's almost impossible. You've got to have some systems, and you've got to know a lot about the individual teams you're betting the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yes.
Non-conference basketball. God bless you if you know how to do it. There are guys that are very good at it. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. But it's not the focal point of my whole. Conference play is really important. You can get a grip on conference play after a little bit. But yeah,
Absolutely.
think about
this way. But it's hard. It's harder, I think.
I think a lot of guys just wait till conference play to play because you know what you're getting in conference play.
Yeah.
The teams know each other. It's a little different. It's not like old school St. John's, Georgetown from 80s, 90s, Big East or ACC or even Big Ten basketball. But these guys have been playing each other for a few years. You kind of know how they are.
Right. Whereas, like tonight, it's Kansas at North Carolina, right? Great matchup, apparently. But Kansas is bringing no starters back. Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows how they're going to be? And Carolina has, I think, 1 starter back. So we don't know what you're going to get, really. Sometimes you have to wait a few weeks to see how these teams, pan out, get a read on them, and get some situations going on. And
I like that game tonight. And what, to me, it's just that's a strictly I'm going coaching on that one.
Right.
Give me the Kansas team there as the underdog.
Yeah, there's always ways. Yeah. That's why they call it gambling. Like we're gambling,
that to me is
Yeah.
I got 2 teams that are going to have NBA guys on it. Who puts the team together? I'm running to Kansas side of that because Davis done nothing over there for North Carolina. But we talk about these stuff and then we'll get out of here. Last night, LIU and IUP. Talk of Twitter, right? All the pre lines on this was like a 150, 160 total. It opened. No one opened it. It finally opened at like 185 after because IU played Ohio State to like a 118, 105 game or something. And at halftime, they had 90 points. It was whatever it was, 60 to 50 at halftime or something like that, or 55-50. Stayed under the total. It ended, I think, at 180. I think it was like 94-90 was the final. Stayed under the 185. But that's a crazy number for college basketball.
Yeah.
But if you saw 184 in college basketball, you are taking the over. You're like, 184. Okay, who's playing? Loyola Marymount? What team is 184 points? It was 185 total opened up last night. That's crazy.
The IU Indy coach, he's brand new. I think he came from some Division II school. But the talk was that he's just going to be – they're just going to run. So that's why the total was as big as it was. And the Ohio State game kind of showed that.
Scored 100 points for Ohio State.
Yeah.
You're still
college basketball. They played for 9 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, enough about that. Let's get out of here. Again, head over to gamblersworld.net for all of our top plays, best bets. If you're still sticking around here, if you haven't already, hit the like button, notification bell, subscribe, all that good stuff. We will be back on Monday. Actually, I shouldn't say that because Saturday and Sunday, NFL and college football free picks videos will be posted here on the Winner Circle YouTube. But I'll be back with a new edition on Monday with Chip Trimis and Doug Upstone. These gentlemen will be with me later in the week, Tuesday, Thursdays, Wednesdays, midweek, whatever. Get your notification bell on, All right, guys. Good luck to you. Thanks for popping in today. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Good luck, everybody.
Good luck, everyone.
Bye-bye.